we are going into the next part of the lesson. So in the previous part, I hope you have understood how we experience sunrise and sunset. We have seen through the experiments how are we experiencing sunrise and sunset. That is, when we are on the west side of the earth, when we see the sun on our east side, we experience sunrise. When the sun is on top of our head, we experience noon. And when we reach the east side of the earth, okay, and then we see the sun on our west side, then we experience sunset. So I hope this is very clear for you. And we know how rotation helps us to have day and night. Now, certain things about the earth we understood, isn't it? Now we are going into moon. We know there are many celestial objects in the universe. So which are the different celestial objects that we see in the universe? We have the planets, we have the satellites, we have different types of stars also. So what is moon? Yes, we all know, isn't it? Moon is the natural satellite of the earth. And earth has got many satellites what we have made and we have sent into space. But moon is the natural satellite of the earth. Now, have you observed the moon? We all like to go up and gaze into the sky and look at the moon, isn't it? Every day, night. From where does the moon get this light? Does it have it light of its own? No. We know the moon gets its light from the light of the sun. That is, the sun's light is reflected on the earth and also it is reflected on the moon. So when we are standing on the earth, we feel that the moon is having the light. But suppose we go to the moon and look at the earth, well, the earth also will look like the moon with full of light, because the sun's light reflects on the earth and the moon. Now, when we look at the moon, do we see the moon every day in the same place? No, isn't it? Sometimes we see the moon on the west, sometimes it will be on the east, sometimes it will be in the north, sometimes this side, sometimes that side. That and then also, does the moon have the same shape every day? No, isn't it? It changes its shape every day. What all shape are you familiar with? We know sometimes we don't see the moon at all. And that day is called as the new moon day. Isn't it? When we don't see the new moon at all, it is called the new moon day. Then what are the different shapes that we see? Yes, we see a small arc-like thing. That is called as a crescent. Then we see a 3/4 of the moon. That is called as gibbous. Gibbous. It is a new word for you. Gibbous. Then we see a half moon. Isn't it? Then we see a full moon. A full round moon. So these are the different shapes of the moon we see. Have you ever imagined why the moon keeps changing its shape? How does the change of the shape of the moon happen? Have you imagined? Is the moon becoming smaller and bigger every day? We know the moon does not change its shape. But why do we see moon in different shapes on different days? Simple. It is just because the moon is revolving round the earth. We know the earth is revolving round the sun. And what is the moon doing? The moon is revolving round the earth. Does the moon go round the sun? You have a doubt, isn't it? Yes. The moon goes round the sun also. How? When the earth is revolving round the sun, the moon is also going along with the earth, isn't it? So, moon is revolving round the earth, as well as it is going along with the earth right round the sun. So, the moon is revolving round the earth. As it is revolving round the earth, it is also revolving around the sun. Along with the earth, it is moving. So these are the different things what we have to imagine. Okay, many things are happening in space, and we in our head only little bit of things will go, but there are many things which is out of our imagination, and it is very interesting to know all these things. So now today we are going to do a small experiment to see how the moon changes its shape, or why we see moon in different shapes on different days. Okay, so that experiment is already in your textbook. They have kept 5 glasses and they are kept in distances, and they have done the experiment. But here teacher is going to make it little more clear for you by doing it in another different way. The experiment which is in your textbook you can do from home and see if you have 5 smiley balls. But I am going to make it little more clear for you by doing it in a different way. So we are going into the experiment. So we are going to do this experiment. For this we need only 3 things. In the textbook we need cups, we need 5 smiley balls. To do this experiment we need only 3 things. One is 1 smiley ball, a pencil, and we need a bulb, which is, I have already connected the bulb here. So here you have to hang a bulb on the west side of your home. So this is the west side. We already know my house where I am standing. This is the north, the back side is the south, this is my west, and this is my east. So we have to connect, we have to keep the light on the west side. So this is west, east, west direction. So I have kept it on the west side. Now we are going to do the experiment. Now the moon is in front of the sun. Now can you see the moon? We cannot see the moon because the other side of the moon is lighted by the sun. The sun's light does not fall on this side. So this is called as the new moon. So when a new moon day you see the moon like this. Now the moon starts revolving. It is revolving. Now you have to imagine here near my hand we are seeing it from the earth. So this is the view which you get from the earth. Now the moon starts moving. When it slowly moves, after 3 days, it comes to this position. Here you can see a small portion like an arc which is lighted. This is called as the crescent. The other side is dark. We can see only an arc, a small space, lighted space. This is called as the crescent. Now after few days the moon moves like this and it reaches here. When it reaches here, you can see the half side of the moon is lighted. The other half is in dark. This is called as the half moon. Now again it revolves. When it reaches here, we can see 3/4 of the moon is lighted and a crescent part is hiding. Now this is called as the gibbous. This is called as the gibbous. Now again the moon is rotating, revolving, and it reaches here in front of the sun. Here we can see the full face of the moon. This is called as full moon day. Now again, so now we came from darkness to light. Now again it is revolving. When it reaches here, we can see the other side of the moon is getting lighted and this side is going into darkness. This is called as the next gibbous. Now again the moon revolves, reaches here. Now the other half of the moon we can see and this side we cannot see. It is the opposite side when it reaches the other part. So this is again a half moon. Then again when we turn, here we can again see the crescent, the next crescent. And then after a few days when it reaches here, again we have a new moon day. So this is a complete revolution of the moon round the earth. Now, from here when you go, the moon is moving from darkness, it is getting lighted. From darkness, the moon is getting lighted. So this is called as the waxing period. When the moon moves from darkness to light, it is called as the waxing period of the moon. From the full moon day, the light of the moon is decreasing and then from light it is going again into darkness. This phenomenon is known as waning. So this is waxing, that is the moon is getting lighted. This is waxing and this is the waning period. So when we move like this, what can we say? This is called as the waxing crescent, the waxing half moon, the waxing gibbous, the full moon day. The full moon day. Now this is called as the waning gibbous, the waning half moon, the waning and again a new moon. Now I hope this concept is very clear for you. Thank you, children.